Palma. Oh,
man.
that's unfair, and Palma 7 points in the game.
To Del Fuentes. Delgado takes the shot and knocks it down. Lorga is open. 3-point. Oh my goodness! Face a jumper by Robby Celis. Caballero has time. Now it's Martin Rosso. Turnaround jumper. Oh my goodness!
The dust is starting to settle after the wheeling and dealing sa ating free agency and trade window, which could shift the balance as the race to the playoffs heats up. And today, some of those teams that made moves in the last couple of weeks are set to see action today in another game day of the 7th season of the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Philip Manalang was one of those guys who moved teams coming on over from the Ilagan Isabela Cowboys, traded for Jerry Pingoy. He will try to make an impact with his new squad. Neil Tolentino was the best player of the game for the Golden Coolers in their last game against Imus. Rizal at Davao maghaharap sa ating unang laro at 6 o'clock p.m. We have the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards going up against the struggling Muntinlupa Cagers, while at 8 o'clock p.m. the top team in the south, the Zamboanga Sikat Family Sardines, will play on the road against the home squad, the Pasay Voyagers. Yan ang mga laro ngayon, and let's go to Richard Tampos for their starting lineup.
Rizal Central Mall Golden Coolers. Power forward number 28, Marco Paulo Balagtas. Point guard number 18, Keanu Caballero. Two guard number 17, Alwin Alday. Playing center number 13, Eric Camson. Small forward number 6, and Neil Geyser Tolentino. The head coaches are Ralph Rivera, assistant coaches, Don Villamin, Christian Coronel, and Mario Gutera, team manager. Joel Conde, the team governors, Andre Cruz, the team honors, Jaime Lim, and Alexander Cruz. Now the starting unit for the Season 3 champions, Davao Occidental Tigers, Coco Life. At forward number 32, Harold Arboleda. The other forward number 28, Chris De Chavez. Shooting guard number 26, Tricky Peromingan. Coming in at center number 6, Wawi Escosio. Point guard number 18, Joseph Terso. Their head coaches, Arvin Bonleon, assistant coaches, Ronald Magtulis, Pancho Alfonso, Noy Bonleon, Anthony Brodet, Amboy Agonoy, and Peter Santa Maria. The game officials are crew chief Alan Manzano, with Lester Arcega and Karina.
Our starting five of this game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. The Golden Coolers will begin things with Keanu Caballero and Alwin Alday in the backcourt, joined by Eric Camso, Neil Tolentino, and Marco Balagtas up front. Sa kabilang panig naman, Joseph Terso, Tricky Peromingan, Wawi Escosio is their man in the middle, joined by Chris De Chavez and Harold Arboleda in the forward spots. Those are the starters for the Davao Occidental Tigers, headed once again by Coach Arvin Bonleon. Joseph Terso was adjudged the best player of the game sa kanilang victory against the Marikina Shoemasters. Harold Arboleda back in harness. A lot of Davao's key players to start this season are finally back and ready to try and make a last push for the playoffs. Magandang hapon sa inyo mga kaliga. This is Javi Palanya, joined by Coach Mike Perez. We have Sidney Crespo at courtside. Coach Mike, itong Davao, they have been on a refreshing run recently, winning 3 of their last 4 games, while itong Rizal naman, quite on a slump before their last game against Imus. They were able to bounce back strongly against the Brotherhood.
Yeah, totoo yan. At itong Davao, somehow, little better performance compared to how they started, I guess, parang midstream of the season. Samantalang ito namang Rizal, very close losses against Gensan and Pampanga. Lost by 7 to Gensan and 3 points from Pampanga. and got that huge win in Imos. They really needed that win on Imos so that, rhythm-wise, makukuha ulit nila.
Yeah, Cristo Chavez just hit a 3 to open up scoring festivities here. The Chavez has been shooting the lights out recently for the Tigers.
Yeah, I agree. He's been so good from the outside. And matter of fact, all of his points from the previous games have really come from 3. And meanwhile, Marco Balagtas, it's good to see him finally go back to his scoring ways because we talked about it off-air. Medyo mababa yung last 5 games niya compared to the start of the season. The first 10, he was averaging roughly about 9 points. Right now, in the last 5, he's only getting about 4 points per game. So, considerable dip para sa scoring nito ni Marco Balagtas.
But he is playing against his former team this afternoon. Won a championship with Davao in Season 3. So, you know how former players go up against their former squads. There's a little bit more motivation usually.
Yeah, I agree. And more fuel to added to that fire, ika nga.
Camson misses from the outside. Terso brings it up for the Tigers. Terso has been the fuel that has been really running this gas for the Davao Occidental Tigers recently. Major piece in them trying to make this playoff push. Escosio scoring there para sa Davao.
Which is why Terso leads when it comes to starting the game para dito sa Davao. He's actually started his 10th game out of the 12 that he's played. So pretty much, a fixture pagdating sa mga starters para dito sa Davao ito si Joseph Terso.
5-2. More than 2 minutes gone by here in the first quarter. Pero Mingan leans in, gets the basket, plus the foul.
What a great move by Tricky Peromingan. He's always been one guy that's very able to score, especially putting the ball on the floor and attacking the space.
That's our play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Peromingan completes the 3-point play. 6-point lead early here for the Tigers.
His previous game so far, he's been averaging only about 3 points per game itong si Tricky. But yung previous games niya, yung first 7, he's actually averaging roughly about 7 points per game. And you see that little dip when it comes to production as well para dito kay Tricky. Might be more minutes to be given Tricky so that he can come up and show off his scoring wares.
Alvin Alday has also been recently on a struggle. As we usually see him, he always is able to put up decent numbers, pero yung porsyento na coach in the last few games haven't really been that good.
That is very true. And somehow, the struggle really is more of the shooting from the field. There was only one game against the Gensan Warriors. We actually shot 44% from the field, which is pretty decent, but everything else is really just below 30. And so, parang very unlikely of an Alvin Alday to be shooting that much percentage. You know him as a legit licensed scorer, ika nga.
Oh, professional scorer yan.
Yes.
He gets the rebound here. Caballero back to Alvin. Alday having a little bit trouble with the rock. Escosio picks it up. It's a 4-on-2. De Chavez sets for 3. That one's long. Wawi Escosio with the offensive board. One-on-one here against Balagtas. Escosio, couple of fakes. Puts it up. Oh, that falls out.
Somehow, normally you would see Wawi Escosio make that basket pretty close, Could be because of the weight loss din. Medyo nawala ng konting power, but he gained a lot when it comes to mobility and playing the length of the floor.
Terso is ahead of the pack, and leaves that short. And he gets his own miss, waits for backup. De Chavez gives it up to his floor general. Tigers have 8 on the shot clock. Arboleda realizes it, asks for the brush screen. Peromingan has 2. Peromingan fading away, that's off to the right.
Good defense by Alvin Alday. Really just staying close amidst that footwork displayed by Tricky.
Camson goes up for 2.
Well, Eric Camson, pretty much mid-post, anywhere near that, he is definitely going to score off of you. And in the last 5 games that he's played, he's actually averaged about 22 points per game and pretty much upping the output para dito kay Eric Camson.
Joseph Terso knocks it down from the outside. Good for 15 points in their last game against Marikina. Although he was not the one who hit that game winner para sa kanila, he was brilliant all game long para sa Davao Occidental.
Alam mo, totoo yan. Ang isa sa mga very noticeable na nag-improve dito kay Terzo when he played for Davao is really the three-point shooting. He is right now shooting at 37%. Roughly very close to 30, but right now it's higher, going to 40, which is pretty good for Joseph Terzo.
This three-point shot is brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances.
Well, Balagtas kept his hand up, but that enough space is all Joseph Terzo really needs to sink that three.
3 out of 4 from the outside against Marikina. Mapuputukan ng shot clock violation dun ng Golden Coolers.
A good defense there by Rizal. Pretty much these guys allowing roughly about 75 points per game to their opponents. They're set at number 15, ranked number 15. So pretty much mid-pack pagdating sa defense itong Rizal, but definitely offensively they're one of the top guys in that department.
De Chavez puts the ball on the deck, creates some space against Balagtas. Fall away jumper is no good.
Run it forward.
Capson looking inside, di binigay kay Balagtas. Instead they go to Tolentino. Met by 2 defenders. Balagtas picks it up. Caballero. De Chavez switches on him. Caballero, nice pass to Marco Balagtas. No finish.
Oh, they got everything in there. All the right movements, but really just couldn't get off a good shot. Pretty much point blank yung miss na yun para kay Marco.
Alan Beltran gives it up to Chavez. 3 on the way. That is money para kay Chris De Chavez.
Pretty much one of the best trail three-point shooters, in my opinion, here in the MPBL. And he just makes himself available on that spot of the floor. And they find him straight on for that three and challenge. He's going to knock it down.
39.3% from the outside this season. 2 threes in the game for Chris De Chavez, plus an 8-point lead for the Davao Occidental Tigers. Timeout, Coach Ralph Rivera.
Welcome back to the MPBL. Ang bilis ng araw mga kaligano, patapos na agad ang June at para kay Coach Ralph Rivera ay good effort daw ang kanyang Golden Coolers this month. Sabi niya, small win itong June para sa kanila. Nakikita niya na nakakapag-adjust sila offensively at lalong gumaganda yung familiarity. Considering na close game and they gave a good challenge to Pampanga this month as well. Dagdag pa daw natin ang recent trade ni Philip Manalang sa small win na ito. Coach Ralph says hindi naman malayo yung bilis ng laro ni Jerry at ni Philip, no? But Philip will also be an upgrade for them defensively. Nilinaw ni Coach Ralph na mataas ang expectations sila kay Philip to push the ball and create for his teammates. Nakapag-practice na nga daw si Philip kasama ang kanyang new team for 4 days before this game at sabi niya, ensayo pa lang sobrang competitive na walang gusto magpatalo kahit sa scrimmage. Happy, Coach Mike?
Maraming salamat, Sid. Well, you know, Philip definitely gives them an upgrade in terms of height in the guard position where I believe they were really lacking in dahil Keanu Caballero tapos Coco Pingoy, they don't really shore up the height factor too much for the Golden Coolers at that guard spot.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel, you know, when you look at those two teams involved in that trade, Coco going to Ilagan and Philip going here, I feel it's a win-win for
I agree.
those two teams.
I definitely agree. As we take a look at this assist of the game brought to you by OneXBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. OneXBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with OneXBet. Eric Campson getting on the board once again and has a chance for one more at the free throw line.
And that's what you get if you have two really good, high IQ big men that can actually play the post. And really just clear understanding that you've got that ball on the post, I'm the big man up top, I'm gonna dive, and you know, if I've got that space, gotta give it up to me, and which is exactly what happened on that basket by Eric Campson. And you just love big men, big to big action, always coming up with those really nice plays.
Campson is the leading scorer for Rizal this season, averaging 15.4 points per game. The Golden Coolers down by 5. Agovida is in the game, shoots against Cañete, no problem para kay Keith Agovida.
Keith Agovida is always gonna be a steady guy when it comes to scoring para dito sa Davao. Matter of fact, he's the third leading scorer for them, and he's the second when it comes to rebounds. So, pretty much a close double-double guy that can give you points and rebounds as well per game.
Alday misfires from the outside, Agovida with the board. And Keith Agovida, coach, many people might forget that he once was one of the deadliest shooters coming out of the NCAA juniors.
Yeah, pretty much. Well,
I think, in his time, actually the deadliest.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that guy scored 81 points.
Yes.
Was it 81 or 82, around that number, before it was broken by another former JRU Light Bomber in Joshua Saret, who scored 89.
Right. That guy, Joshua Saret, was pretty good too. But, I love how he actually plays in control itong si Keith Agovida.
Davao already shooting 4 out of 6 from the outside, while Rizal hasn't gotten anything out of 3 attempts. Caballero will try to make one. That's long. Cañete with the board. Got fouled there.
And that pretty much is the identity of Rizal. Second chance points. Offensive rebound, turning to opportunities to score para dito kay Cañete.
This is the fast break of the game, brought to you by Extreme X-Pop, personal karaoke speaker, everyday karaoke.
And Rizal, number 7 when it comes to points off turnovers. Roughly almost 17 points they get out of that in a game. And really just shows you that this is a good balance of a team when it comes to offense and defense. Much as we harp about how good they are offensively, the defense is pretty much up there as well.
Coach Ralph Rivera, one of those guys here in the MPBL that really put a heavy premium defensively. And big reason why they're able to also go out in transition a lot. One of the leading teams as well in terms of fast break points this year, ang Golden Coolers. That's finally a conversion from the outside galing sa Rizal, courtesy of Robbie Naive.
One of the things I'm very interested and curious to see nasabay on the floor para dito sa Rizal would be Philip Manalang and Robbie Naive. Those guys play with a lot of pace and play a lot of defense.
Keith Agovida getting 2 points inside the hoop and the harm para kay Keith Agovida. Getting that step on De Leon and challenging the defense of John Apasible.
A good read by Keith Agovida, understanding, he's got qualitative foot speed advantage over John Apasible. You love John on his defense down on the low block, but if you bring him out on the perimeter, it's going to need a little bit of chase when it comes to defending against perimeter guys.
We'd like to thank LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. De Leon with the rock, shooting against Beltran. That's a miss. 1 out of 5 na ngayon ang Rizal galing sa labas. Raymart Escobedo rather. Unang pasok sa laro na to, he was the hero of that game against the Marikina Shoemasters. 10 ang hinahabol dito ng Rizal. There's gonna be a foul there as Samboy De Leon tried to challenge the defense of the smaller Raymart Escobedo.
That's one thing you like about De Leon. He's got size. He can put the ball on the floor, can attack downhill, and pretty much is strong body to try and finish inside a lane attack. And this guy pretty much for a good run has averaged, 15 points per game. Previous to their game with Imos. Those 5 games run from stretching from that game against Valenzuela all the way to Pampanga Giant Lanterns. He was pretty much good for about 15 points per game, with the most points being 20 against the Giant Lanterns.
Agovida loses it. No foul called, but it will stay with Davao, who's maintaining a 9-point advantage here. 1 minute and 13 to go.
And I feel that's a better matchup, putting Samboy De Leon on Keith Agovida. And body strength and foot speed, pretty much very similar.
There's an offensive foul. Laban kay Noel Bonleon. Moving screen right there as Janser Salubre tried to turn the corner. 13-22. Labayan is in the game for the first time, getting some early burn here for the Golden Coolers. Apasible Hands it off to Naive. Robbie, jumper. That's down the drain para kay Robbie Naive. Off to a good start in this game.
I have always loved that tight curl of a stagger. Yung unpredictable, normally yung corner umaangat, no? But once you twist it, it catches the defense, second guessing themselves.
And you love it when the player using the screens really make the right reads, because it's one thing to know how to curl, how to flare, how to turn the corner off of those screens, but you have to know when to use it.
Yes, tama. And that's why a lot of young players nowadays really should understand the reads when it comes to ball screen action. It's not just having a guy screen for you, it's actually making the good reads and making the right decisions. You might have that read, but did you make the right decision, to your point?
And these reads are mainly, trying to understand the angles and the space that is made between the defense and the screener and the screener's man.
Oo. At saka iba-iba yung coverage, Habi?
Mismo.
Pwede kang i-blitz, pwede kang i-follow, pwede kang i-switch, pwede kang i-stunt, and so bawat depensa na yon, you have to understand how to react to it and exploit advantages in terms of space and in terms of pace.
Escobedo. Jump pass to Agovida from the left flank. Keith Agovida for 3.
Keith Agovida, man. He is showing us the range, Habi. Sabi niya, kanina pa pinag-uusapan yung lane points ko. Pag-usapan rin naman natin yung 3-pointers ko.
De Leon to beat the buzzer. That one's short. 8 points for Keith Agovida in the first quarter. De Leon failing to answer with that 3-pointer at the end of the horn. The Davao Occidental Tigers off to a fantastic start here. The starters doing a wonderful job. The bench guys also coming in and doing their job as well.
Well, one thing that Davao's actually done is that they've shot the ball pretty well from the field, making half of their shots. Rizal, a little bit of a struggle in terms of that situation, but they're pretty much still in this, only the first quarter.
25-16 is the count. Second quarter of action sa aming pagbabalik. The Tigers survived the Marikina Shoemasters in their last game. This happened at the Alonte Sports Arena in Binyan. This was a very tight game from the start. This featured 5 ties and 13 lead changes. Joseph Terso judged the best player of the game. Sa laro na yon, double-double para sa kanya, 15 points and 10 assists.
Yeah, he was really just doing all the necessary things for them to get that win. Pretty close one. It was close in the first half. They were up by 2 at the half, then 10 by the third quarter, and Marikina opened up the fourth with their own 12-point run to trim the deficit down to 4 from a high of 12. But pretty much that good run and good finish by Davao, especially that buzzer beater by Escobedo.
Sambo de Leon getting on the board with his first field goal. He has 3 points in this game. First quarter 3-point field goal story, 5 out of 9 para sa Davao, while itong Rizal only shooting 1 out of 8, and that one was from Robbie Naive.
Now that pretty much has been the challenge para dito sa Rizal, and much as they have more free throw attempts as well, they're +7 in that department. Clearly, Davao's been playing really good. See the up and under move.
That's our play of the game, brought to you by 1xBet, title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Escobedo, masyado malakas ang tira galing sa labas. Cañete will initiate the offense here para sa Rizal. De Leon, last moment pass. Cañete getting the receive and the score.
Chemistry na yun, familiarity. They pretty much could measure kung titira ba or hindi, kung di aabot. Mike was there ready for that catch. And always, again, second chance points. That's why they're number one, because they try to clog that lane every time that a shot attempt is about to be taken.
Bonleon attacks from the outside. The scoop and the score para kay Noel Bonleon.
When Bonleon played in 9 games, it's averaged roughly about 5 minutes per game. And pretty much doing everything that he can. Any contribution that he can do on the floor. Doesn't command so much for the ball, but he moves a lot. And so he got that basket.
Tingnan ulit natin yung galaw na yon ni Noel Bonleon. One of the more versatile big men of the Tigers. Able to attack from the outside. He's got an outside look also. He also can put the ball on the deck as you saw there. Salubre gets in between and is able to draw the foul before the shot.
Salubre explosive rin to pagka fumi-finish, no? And so once he rips that ball, he rips that ball real low. And so kung depensa ka, napakalalim nung you're gonna dig real low para matapik yung bola. But he's got that quick first step tong si Salubre.
Oh, my mistake. They call it a shooting foul. So 2 free throws here para kay Janser Salubre, who also has been very impressive the past few games for the Tigers. This young stud combining with Raymart Escobedo. Those two guys have been one of the upcoming players of the Tigers this season.
Yeah, and one thing that you notice also dito sa Davao, after that reboot, so to speak, the guys have understood their role on the team, and they're really just embracing it. And similarly, itong si Salubre, over the last 3 games that they played, he's actually averaging roughly about 13 points per game, which is pretty good. Because previous to that, the only times that he got a double-digit scoring was a back-to-back game between with Mindoro and Bacolod. Everything else have been either empty or just single digits.
At ang maganda sa kanya, Coach, is he doesn't just deliver on offense. He's also quite the stud defensively.
Agree. Exactly.
Pasible here trying to test the defense of Bonleon, but there's a swipe from behind galing kay Escobedo, which was called a foul. That's why Pasible on the line right now for 2 shots.
And it's high time, I feel, that Pasible at this game starts, putting that ball on the floor and attacking the defense. He's been attacked for the most part. At least, 2 of the last 3 that we've seen, they've actually brought him out in the perimeter and forced him to play downhill, which pretty much he's been pretty much challenged covering outside.
He misses his 2 free throws. Davao still up by 9. Bonleon tried to hook a pass to Jeff Comia, stolen by Samboy De Leon. De Leon trying to will his way to the basket, gets it off Janser Salubre.
Well, I thought I saw Mike Cañete already underneath, ready to receive that pass. He was pretty much unchallenged, but pretty much mixed scorer's mentality. Samboy De Leon really just choosing to attack the defense of Salubre.
Samboy De Leon only had 6 points against Imos, although he didn't really have to do much considering the amount of the lead that they had against the Brotherhood. That was quite a dominating victory para sa kanila, one that they really needed after their 3-game losing streak. Meanwhile, let's go courtside to Miss Sydney Crespo.
There have been a couple of changes in the Davao Occidental Tigers squad over the past 4 to 5 games. That's why Coach Arvin told me back to 0 kami ngayong June, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. Coach Arvin says he wants to challenge his guys to elevate their play in the second half of the regular season. He is looking for positive change, especially now that the players are slowly getting back into their groove daw. Isa na dyan si Joseph Terzo, their best player last game, who said he's been enjoying all the preparations over the past few weeks. He believes that they need to be more decisive as a group at this point in the season. Something na natutunan na daw niya playing many seasons already. And in case you're wondering, dati sabi daw sa kanya ni Coach Arvin, be a facilitator, but now he's been tasked to be more aggressive in scoring. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Sid, and we've definitely seen the fruit of that advice, especially in that last game. Well, he did both, scoring and facilitating.
That's right. And you like that he's getting involved that way, and pretty much Davao needs that from him, especially in Davao. If you compare from last season, they're actually not better when it comes to defending. They're giving up 8 more points this season compared to last year, and so really the call for leadership and a lot more activity, offensively and defensively, from every Davao Tiger this season.
Comia putting on a bunch of moves. He had to put it up. Shot clock expires there para sa Davao Occidental. Excellent defense coming from the Golden Coolers there to force that violation.
And it's not easy to be going up, out there in the perimeter against Robbie Naive. He pretty much is one of the, key defenders para dito sa Rizal.
Lagnete handed off to Robbie Naive.
Good skip.
Labayan, three-pointer on the way. Too strong. Escocio and Apacible trying to battle for that board. They say it's a jump ball, which has an arrow favoring the Davao Occidental Tigers. And Coach Arvin Bonleon sues for time here. His Tigers still up by 7. The Rizal Golden Coolers got off to a 114-77 victory against the Imus Brotherhood last June 21. This was after their 3-game losing streak, and they absolutely shot it lights out from the field in this game. 53.8% against the Brotherhood.
Yeah, and you win by 37 because you came up with 64 points in the second half. Pretty good shooting, like what you mentioned.
And itong si Keith Agovida and Chris De Chavez against Marikina combined for 28 points. Agovida and De Chavez have been crucial for Davao these last few games.
Yeah, pretty much. And those two guys, that, scoring-wise, medyo nag-struggle ng konti from the field itong si Keith Agovida. While he did get 16 points, played for about 30 minutes. Not so much of a shooting night, pero grabe yung shooting sa 3 points naman ni Chris De Chavez in that game. He was actually, 4 out of 9, all of them coming from the 3 points, and so all those 44% really have been attempted from the outside.
It all started with that game against Binyan where he definitely sizzled.
He was so good that I had to ask him on air, where are you from?
Well, he looked like he was from a different planet that time.
Oh, yeah.
Was really standing tall against everybody in that game.
Tsaka mabigat nun, dikit yung laban at
Yun
that point. Pero kung saan tumitira.
The threes were just raining down.
Oh, yeah. And a couple of days after, you see that, 14 three-pointers, 15 three-pointers was it? By Philip Panyamogan.
Well, it's been a very exciting season, actually, for the MPBL,
yes.
not just the past few months. But, of course, with these exciting games and the moves made by the teams during the trade and free agency window, which will now end today.
Yeah, napaka-interesado talaga na makita ano yung magiging movement pa ng iba. Oh, 3 on its way, looks good.
Saktong-sakto doon sa vantage point natin, Coach. Kitang-kita ko na diretsong-diretso eh.
Yung dating ng bola, yung pagkakasalo niya sa pocket area, shooting area niya, everything was in the right place. And you know that shot's gonna go in.
6 out of 13 right now from the outside for the Tigers. The three-point shooting, Coach, has suddenly become one of their main weapons offensively itong Tigers ever since Coach Arvin and his staff came back.
And that really, to me, is just a testament to the freedom that Coach Arvin has actually given the Davao Tigers. You know what? You have a really talented roster. All they really need is a little bit of guidance and a lot of freedom.
And when you couple that with slashers like Jeff Gomia, who is now featured in our Gixxer Great Move of the Game, Born for Greatness, then that just makes Davao tough to stop defensively.
I agree. Especially if you got perimeter shooters on the outside. You wouldn't know where that next move is going to be. Will it be a finish to the cup, or will it be a kick out for a 3?
12-point lead para sa Davao. We'll take a short break. Check out our special deal from 1xBet when you scan the QR code. Live from the Pasay Astrodome in Pasay City as you take a look at Operations Head Emerson Oreta and Security Chief Rudy Distrito. We're in the first game of our Monday triple header, kicking off action this week with this game between Rizal and Davao, while in Game 2, we have the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards, league leaders right now, going up against the struggling Muntinlupa Cagers. And then in our main game, we have the Pasay Voyagers defending their home floor against the leaders of the South in the Zamboanga Sikat.
Yeah, and how about my beloved Muntinlupa Cagers? You guys gotta get wins soon.
Oh, yeah. As you take a look at this three-point shot brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances. He's got 3 in this game, talking about Chris De Chavez.
Yeah.
3 of the 6 3-pointers of Davao. Alwin Alday has yet to make an impact till now para sa Rizal. Much needed basket para sa kanila.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you have your one of your top scorers in Alwin Alday. Matter of fact, he's second at 12.6. You really are gonna need him to score.
Pero 9 pa rin ang lamang dito ng Davao. Arboleda gives it up to Terzo. Escoso sets the screen. Wawi attacking Camson. Binitbit. Short. The Golden Coolers on the run. They haven't been able to run as much in this game. Alday gets an opening inside. That's 5 straight points para kay Alvin Alday.
2 for 2 on his last 2 attempts after going 1 out of 4. And so that's the Alwin Alday that you're really gonna need to see now para dito sa Rizal if you wanna bring this a little bit closer.
Comia sees Arboleda, almost bothered there by Pili. Couldn't drive to the baseline, had that door shut. Shot clock winding down again. Comia had to hurry one. Caballero forward to Alday. Professional cherry picker, no. Alwin Alday almost got to it. Camson luckily was able to get the rock. And there's going to be a pushing foul against, was that Harold Arboleda?
Yeah, that was Harold Arboleda. That's what you love about the Golden Coolers. You know, they pretty much hustle a lot, especially on 50-50 possessions. And that no wonder they're number 1 when it comes to second chance points at almost 17 points per game. Keith Agovida now comes back.
It's going to stay with the Golden Coolers. 2 minutes and 39 remaining here in the second quarter. 7 points ang hinahabol nila dito. Just a little mopping of those slick spots on the floor. Of course, we want to make sure our players are always safe when they're on the floor.
Oh, yeah. Safety is always a premium.
Yes, sir. Balagtas knocking down that shot from the perimeter. This is down to just a 5-point lead for Davao.
That's right. And only because your top scorers for Rizal are actually going to work and knocking down shots. Balagtas is also 1 out of 4 from the field right now, pretty much similar to when Alday knocked down his first basket after 4 attempts.
Arboleda, Agovida, he loves that spot. That's off to the right. Di makuha ni Balin yung bola, pero mukhang Davao basketball pa.
I think they're gonna review this. Is he asking for a challenge, Coach Ralph? No, I don't think he is.
Yeah, I think they're gonna let the call stay. Mukhang walang challenge na magaganap dito eh. They're still trying to argue the call though, but yellow light is not on, and Coach Ralph Rivera doesn't seem to be signaling for a challenge, so
yep.
They will allow this to continue. Terzo will inbound from the baseline. There's going to be an offensive foul. Laban sa Davao. So all those caucus happening for nothing para sa Tigers. It suddenly swings back to Rizal just like that.
A couple of lefties going at it. Eric Pili and Keith Agovida. Keith did not like the pretty sticky defense by Eric Pili. Too close for comfort.
Capson has Valin on him. Caballero cuts through the middle. Eric still has it. That's just too easy para kay Eric Capson. Patient move underneath.
I say professional big man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Eric Capson.
No doubt about it.
We understood that.
Agovida breaks free. Agovida though was challenged by Capson, but the help coming from John Lee Valin.
What you love about Valin, that length, that reach, he stays active. One of the pinakamahabang reach na yata dito yan, no? This season, si Valin.
Well, of course, a lot of players also having that similar reach. Well, teammate Keith Agovida also has quite a long wingspan. That was a follow by John Lee Valin, making an impact there for the Tigers.
And that's one thing you gotta understand if you're the Golden Coolers. You have to locate that guy, Valin, especially every time a shot is hoisted. And you gotta end your defense with a defensive rebound.
Alday missing his first free throw.
After being perfect on his first trip.
Yeah, quite uncharacteristic actually for Alday to be missing free throws.
Pretty much.
Split para kay Alwin, former Bacolod and QC player, as well as former Davao player. He has his roots with Davao. He played for Davao in a different league before.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Because I saw him already. He was playing for QC, but for Davao, I don't recall seeing him playing there.
Oh, not here in the MPBL.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a travel going up against Keith Agovida.
Oh, boy.
Not quite sure about that, though.
Oh, yeah. Not so sure about that. You know how the footwork is for Keith Agovida.
But take a look at it again, Coach.
Opens
You
up.
be the judge here. Ooh! Where?
That was good.
Oh, yeah, that was definitely good.
That was good. I know we don't have a zero step, but that sure looked pretty good.
Didn't even have to be a zero step. That was a gather.
Agree. The gather and then those steps. Oh, man.
Well, the Tigers managed to get a stop here and a chance to extend this lead further once again.
Going for 2 for 1 here. Cheer the Tigers.
45 seconds left here in the half. Agovida attacks right. Trying to finish with the left. He draws the foul. Keith Agovida is definitely pumped up here.
Now he wants to go to the break with a little bit better cushion for the Davao Tigers, because he's been pretty much aggressive each time down on the offensive floor.
He picks up Camson's first personal. Agovida drains that first free throw. Agovida so far with 11 points already para sa Davao. This time with a much better percentage compared to that game against Marikina.
Yeah, and in his last 4 games, he's actually averaged 14.5 points per game. In the first 3, he was only averaging roughly about 7. So you see that quick swing in terms of production para dito kay Keith Agovida. And you're not surprised. It really is just a matter of time. If he's given that freedom, he is going to score.
Josh Tagala, pinasok na dito ni Coach Arvin Bonleon. Actually had decent quality time for the Tigers sa kanilang laro against Marikina. Camson kicks it out. Alday, three-pointer, no good. Salubre saves it inside to Peromingan. Last shot time here for the Tigers. 16 seconds to go. 38-32. Terso wants a screen. He wants it from Tagala. Terso to the popping Josh. There's going to be a foul, a push against Rizal. That's second against, I think it was Caballero who was called for the foul. There's going to be a timeout here called by Coach Arvin Bonleon as he will try to map out these last 4 seconds for the Davao Occidental Tigers. We'll be back. Keith Agovida with a good game so far for Davao. 12 points, 4 rebounds. Helping this Tigers team to a 6-point lead. 3 seconds to go here. He has the basketball. Agovida hangs! Well defended though by the interior defense of Rizal. And that's gonna do it. Our first half in the books. The Tigers still continue to enjoy the advantage here against Rizal.
Really, pretty much is because they've had their ways trying to get into the paint. And the assist has pretty much been even, but once you control the board, you pretty much control the game, which is what Davao has done.
38 to 32 in favor of the Davao Occidental Tigers. We'll be back.
I came from nothing. Just a small boy from streets of General Santos City. No shoes, no food, no chance, just a dream in my heart. From flyweight to junior middleweight, 8 divisions. Thank you. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas. Mabuhay ang bawat Pilipinong nangangarap at lumalaban. This is our victory. This is our story. And the best is yet to come.
Is annihilating Oscar De La Hoya. That is the most spectacular one-punch set of Manny Pacquiao's incredible career. And he fights his way over and goes down again. Straight left lands for Manny. Does he have coloring trouble? Manny Pacquiao is a storm. Another huge left hand by Pacquiao. Punch after punch after punch. And he finds the straight left hand. And there's the punching down. Look at the brilliant accuracy of Manny Pacquiao. Landing with both right and left hands. This is why we use the word sensation.
MPBL, that just speaks a lot to how he's been performing here. Hindi niya sasayangin to.
Santos with a throwdown. Dennis Santos with a highlight two-handed jam here in the third. Throwdown galing kay Dennis Santos. He had a handful of highlight dunks last season.
Yeah. You mentioned Sidelf earlier, you brought up
12 points in the game, and all the way from near half court, Kit Jimenez, 4 of 4 from beyond the arc, trying to steal the thunder from King Destacamento in the quarter. Find Kit, please. Ayun nga eh.
second remaining from half court! We were talking about him, Coach Mike. My goodness,
Oh, wow.
Jethro Escoto.
Boy, what a shot made by Escoto.
Hindi ko man kasing tangkad si Richard at si Russell, pero meron ako nito.
Oo, ang bigat ng pagkakabitaw niya na yun. Almost, fading going left and still enough to kiss it on the glass.
Rebound. Both teams still with a timeout remaining. Manalang with the rock. Defended by Santos. Jerome bites on the fake. Manalang for 3. Gets the basket to go. It bounces off the rim.
Yun ang mabigat doon. Hindi lang nakashoot itong passing. 3 points pa ang kanilang ibinigay. Which means, on our side, the chances of overtime lumingit.
It looks bleak right now.
Right?
But
His energy could be infectious for the
Oh,
last
wow,
2
what a
minutes.
pass.
What a pass! Oh! De Leon, the recipient of that unworldly assist from Keanu Caballero.
What a pass by Keanu Caballero. Guy, he found De Leon. Si Keanu talaga, ibang klase mga pasa. Risky, pero pag lumusot, ang ganda.
Wilson gets it to Robbie Celis, but what a catch and what a finish! And a foul! What a play from the heart and soul of this Nueva Ecija team, Robbie Celis. The smarts and the skill right here. Dalawang veterano na combined doon, Javi.
Exactly. You gotta credit the pass to John Wilson. The presence of mind to get it to Robbie Celis, who got good position right there.
Against Salem. Rocky, 8 seconds. Now Chito, 5 seconds. Jaime lost the ball. Tamayo, Tumanalang, the runner from Robbie! Robbie Manalang with another clutch basket. This time against Valenzuela, it's a 7-point lead for Pasig City with 48 seconds remaining.
From Adamson to the MPBL, Robbie Manalang has broken a lot of hearts with clutch baskets just like that.
Buluto. Sumang with 5 seconds to work with. The dance, the pass, Sena, the three. Ho, ho, ho. Wow! May konting sayaw, and then the 3 ball just in time to beat the shot clock. 13-point lead, the biggest in the ball game.
What a move here by Roy Sumang. And then Sena was asking for it because he felt that mismatch. He had Ochea on him. He felt that he could have taken him on the post. But Sumang set him up for that 3-point shot.
Andrews comes away with a loose ball. Here comes Ashton Andrews. Andrews lays it in.
Welcome to the Ashton Andrews highlight reel.
Ashton Andrews providing the hustle, the energy, and the bucket here late in the third period. He will not be denied in this play, Javi.
Getting past Kaduyak there, and then the sidestep on the gather by Ashton Andrews. 2 highlight plays. What a quarter para kay Ashton Andrews. Formento has Kanyal on him. Crossover, pull up. Formento knocks it down!
Ano sabi mo kanina? Ang lamig. Di ba? Ang lamig. Umuulan. Ang lamig. Ano ang dapat mong gawin? Tanungin natin si Formento. Hindi. Tignan na lang natin. Between the legs, a little up fake cross, that quick pull-up. No, yung quick pull-up after the cross was enough para, mapaslight, backpedal itong si depensa ni Kanyal, and nothing but bottom. What a big-time shot.
This guy, he has embraced the big moments para sa Valenzuela this season. Halftime now between the Rizal Central Mall Golden Coolers and the Davao Occidental Tigers. The score is 38-32. Both teams are looking to make a push for their respective divisions in the playoffs. Itong Davao, they are currently In the upper half naman Rizal is currently in the upper half of our team standings, while Davao is at number 11 right now in the south.
Well, so far in this game, and this is a really good shooting game para dito sa Davao. They shot pretty good from the perimeter, from 3, even from the free throws, going 6 out of 6. Samantalang ito namang Rizal, it's been a struggle from 3 and including the free throws, just the perimeter shots that they've been good at. A lot of that has to do also on the turnovers that's been forced by Rizal. Doon sila bumabawi on Davao, to which they got 9 turnovers committed by Davao and they got 11 points off of it. And Davao, meantime, had huge help from the bench. That was I think +8, +7 advantage para dito sa Davao, which is pretty much what Rizal also needs, a lot of help from the bench.
Alvin Alday did not score a field goal in the first quarter but managed to get 7 straight points in the second period. Eric Camson backing him up with 7 points. Sambo De Leon has been aggressive in looking for his shot. He ends up with 5. Robbie Naive also getting 5 points for the Golden Coolers in that first half, while Keith Agovida has been on a man on a mission here so far for the Tigers with 10 points. De Chavez has 9. Salubre coming in off the bench with 5. And Joseph Terzo so far with 3 points in this game. At Keith Agovida, coach, these 10 points have come off a good percentage from the field compared to his last game where he struggled but still got 16 points.
Yeah, pretty much. He's 66% from the perimeter. He's 1 out of 3 from 3 and perfect from the line on a 3 of 3 shooting. Pretty much the kind of game that you expect from Keith Agovida, especially later in the second quarter when you saw him really very aggressive attacking the lane.
And what about the outside shooting again, coach, para sa Davao? I mentioned how they've been doing so well from that area of the floor these past few games. But for the season, they're actually only averaging 29.9% from the outside.
Yes. And that uptick, I feel, has a lot to do with guys like Terzo, even Peromingan, and Chris De Chavez, pretty much for the most part. He's been the lead when it comes to 3-point makes, and he's been carrying that stat line para dito sa Tigers. And now what this does for Davao is that it really stretches the defense of Rizal, allowing those lane drivers to go do their work.
Cañete gets the first points of the third quarter for Rizal. Davao now with the shot clock going down. There's a foul against Neil Tolentino.
And you know, Neil is always going to be very aggressive, trying to defend against anyone. He's a guy that defends pretty close for comfort, not allowing that space and that look for any reads or any decisions to be made by a guy that he's guarding.
Neil has bounced around here in the MPBL, pero champion yan last year with the Pampanga Giant Lanterns.
Oh yes.
Agovida, short on the jumper. Tolentino will let that sail out of bounds. Davao was hoping that referee would say na last touch pa kay Neil Tolentino. 38-34. So far, Cañete the only one with a basket here in this third quarter. He's joined by Caballero, Camson, and Alvin Alday plus Neil Tolentino to start the third quarter, while Davao has Terzo, Agovida, Escocio, De Chavez, and Peromingan.
Well, you expect that Rizal is going to try and go more perimeter scoring, either paint twos or non-paint twos, but pretty much I feel more of paint twos because the threes have not been pretty good. Very friendly para dito sa Rizal. Good block right there by Wawi Escocio.
Escocio in the middle, looking for the handoff to Tricky Peromingan. Peromingan hooks a pass. Escocio leans in off the glass, no good.
He had a good look, couldn't bank it in.
Alday is wide open. Escocio closes out. Alwin Alday, the hook shot. Wala.
Well, another miss, close range for Alwin Alday. And it's tough for me to say this, but he's now 1 out of 7 from the perimeter. Very unlikely of an Alwin Alday. You understand, long range, pretty much him. But close range, maganda rin ang percentage ni Alwin Alday.
Well, you know, despite the numbers he is not going to be afraid or shy to shoot that basketball. He will never see a shot that he doesn't like.
Pretty much. Kasi yun ang importante sa kanya. He has to not stop shooting. He's got to continue with those volume shots. Eventually, he's going to find his groove. And if he does, then the opponents are in trouble.
Agovida pulls down his 5th rebound. Escobedo trying to be aggressive here. He has not yet made a basket in this game para sa Davao.
Oh, man.
Ginawa ang tira ni Alday galing sa kanan.
That was the right pass by Keanu Caballero. Alday was holding that three. He pretty much can knock it down from there. As you know, Alvin is a 32% three-point shooter, and so you love for him to get it right there. But Terzo, meantime, man, this guy's been on a tear. He's shooting 50% from the perimeter, and he knows just when to pass and when to attack.
He's been very efficient in this game. He hasn't taken a lot of shots, but he's 2 out of 3 from the field. 5 points in this game to go along with 4 rebounds, 3 assists, at ito mabigat dyan, Coach, 0 turnovers para kay Joseph Terzo as he helps Davao really try and maintain this lead. Rizal has gotten close, but this actually has been the closest they've been ever since being down by as much as 13.
Yeah, and so far that's one action that I'd like to think Davao hasn't checked yet. That dive by the big man once that ball is on the post. We saw that earlier with Camson diving. This time it was the other way around. It was Cañete actually diving inside of that pass by Eric Camson.
Ita Govida once again getting away from the defense. This time it's on his strong side. Getting 2 points more for the Tigers.
I feel Rizal is really allowing that space to be won, and that chase for that space to be won by Davao, and they are pretty much on a catch-up mode.
Escobedo passes up on the 3. Terzo will not. Joseph Terzo from downtown.
Wow, Joseph Terzo. He's 2 out of 2 from there. And what you mentioned earlier, he hasn't committed any turnovers yet. And boy, he's really been so far the guy that's guiding the ship. That dive again.
Once again, it's Cañete getting the 2 points, and those paint point, Coach, have been the source of offense para sa Rizal here in the 3rd quarter.
And you see pretty much the miscommunication between Chris De Chavez as well as Keith Agovida. Those guys are the ones guarding Cañete as well as Eric Camson respectively. And so once that convergence comes, you see this jumper here by Alday, they get confused on who covers who.
Agovida gets that short stab, and Cañete dropping it off. Alday missing, thought he was fouled. Pero Mingan pushing it. Tolentino tried to challenge. Escobedo goes inside, hangs, had to pass it off. That is going to be a turnover for Davao. Transition defense right on point there for the Golden Coolers. This is our assisted game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Cañete, Coach, 7 points now in the game.
I was gonna say, Javi, na yun yung kailangan nilang pag-usapan. When the ball is on the post, do you double? Because I saw Chris De Chavez go on a double. Somebody's gotta cover that dive by Cañete. And so, yung recovery kanina nung nasa likod, which I felt was salubre yata yun, was pretty much late.
Camson almost got stripped. He tries to get it back. Camson will take it. They still have time on the shot clock. Davao forcing a stop there on the Golden Coolers.
Camson is now 0 out of 5 from 3, starting from the previous game where he was 0 out of 3.
Terzo puts on the brakes, forces it up. Not a good shot.
Not a good shot.
Cañete breaking away. Ooh. I thought that was going to fall out, but Cañete getting his 11th point of the game. He scored 8 here in the 3rd quarter.
Rizal's got to be more active getting to that space first. Good seal. Good closeout.
Salubre. Pass bothered by Rizal, and there's going to be a foul given up to stop the fast break.
That pretty much is all Samboy De Leon right there.
Tingnan natin ang ating fast break of the game that's brought to you by Extreme X-Play on-the-go speaker. Take your music anywhere.
We're just finding a mic. Muntik pa nga mag-mintis yan, no? Akala mo soft finger roll na lang pero bumackside pa.
Let's check in court side with City Crespo.
Maraming nagustuhan si Coach Arvin sa nakita niya ng first half tulad ng depensa nila sa half court. Pero tulad nga ng binanggit niya kaninang back to zero ay hindi daw niya maibuhos ng more than 10 minutes yung ibang players because of their conditioning. The team is back working on that but he's managing some guys right now knowing Rizal na kailangan meron daw pang dulo ang Tigers. Para kay Coach Ralph naman, he simply said they were out-hustled and outsmart by the Tigers. Hindi daw ito yung laro nila. They were not able to react to Davao's hustle in the first half. Like you mentioned, Coach Mike, they're on a catch-up mode now. Kaya paalala ni Coach Ralph, simplihan lang natin. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Sid. Well, tama nga si Coach Arvin dun that, you know, if you're going up against a team that likes to play quick, you're really gonna have to stock for the end game.
Yes, agree. You want to have, you know, enough gas to try and finish the game, but I do love that message by Coach Ralph na, you know, catch up tayo, habol tayo, pero simplihan lang natin. You know, coaches would always tell you, simplicity creates decisiveness. And so, you know, you keep everything simple. It's very easy for guys to make decisions on the floor.
Yeah, and you know, many players tend to, especially the young ones, they tend to try and go for those home run hits, ika nga, pag humahabol, which pag hindi nahuhulog is even more demoralizing in my opinion, Coach, because you know, it really gets you down a lot dahil yung ibang teammates mo rin bumababa yung moral eh.
That's right. And if you're gonna play the game that way and you're not doing things right, Instagrammable or whatever, really good for SocMed. But man, when you see your efficiencies, they watch the entire game, you're not so good at all. So you gotta be very efficient. Kaya lokohan nga ng mga ibang coaches sa highlights, hindi nagmimintis yung mga players.
Check out our special deal from 1xBet when you scan the QR code and claim your special offer. Donna Pasible at the free throw line right now. 3 rebounds para kay Apasible.
Well, that's short.
1 out of 2 from the free throw line there. He's now 1 out of 4 from the charity stripe.
And Apasible is one of those players that you feel you can get some more, especially come the playoffs when it's, you know, really paint action, big man, offense, defense. Right now, you're getting 5 points off of him, but you do understand. Pagka playoffs na yan at bumagal na yung laro, he's gonna be playing a key role for Rizal and Coach Ralph.
13 foul against the Golden Coolers. 14 left on the shot clock here for the Tigers. Salubre, guarded here by Robin Naive. Salubre forces it up.
Good defense. Bad foul.
Especially that the Tigers are already in the penalty.
That's right.
It's still 2 minutes and 48 remaining here in the third quarter. So 2 more free throws to be awarded here. This time to Marco Balagtas.
And these are lessons that I'm sure Coach Arvin Bonleon would hope for young guys like Salubre to learn quick.
Marco Balagtas will take 2 free throws. Balik muli tayo kay Miss City Crespo.
You guys were talking about Marco Balagtas earlier and his significantly lower scoring output in the last 5 games. No, Marco was quick to say that it's not a struggle for him. He believes that Rizal is a team that collectively works for every win and that they're very lucky to have different best players almost every game. Sabi niya, hindi dumadating at hindi ako yung type na pinipilit ko. He says that while also acknowledging this is simply part of basketball. He added, I'm not meant to be a scorer here but actually to help more on the intangibles, not seen on the stat sheet. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Sid. Excellent report there. And, you know, Balagtas has always been the consummate team player. And that's why he's always been, his services have always been looked for by MPBL teams.
Yeah. Alam mo, ang ganda ng binibigay rin kasi ni Marco Balagtas. Sure, the stats would show that, the percentage and ano's been down. But you love that attitude by Marco Balagtas, understanding that this is a, you know, full team game. And not everybody's gonna rely on me, so whatever else I can contribute, I would.
Meanwhile, Samboy De Leon able to put it through there from the outside para sa Rizal. He has 8 points in this game. Salubre gives it up to Bonleon. Now has 6 points in the game, failing to get points 7 and 8 there. 45 to 51. Anin mang hinahabol ng Rizal. De
Got one
Leon
more. That's right.
gives
We
it
got
up.
one more.
Naive wide open. Yes, sir. Why not? Robbie Naive.
I was really in the back of my head when the Bayern went to this left side wing. I was talking to myself, telling him, skip it. Because you immediately saw that Robbie Naive was right there holding that corner, and you got that dry action to lead up to that pass for Naive. Oh, wow.
Escobedo finally getting on the board in spectacular fashion. Escobedo really needed that to boost his confidence, while Apacible trying to get to the line again, and he will get 2 shots.
Yeah, pretty much that's something that Escobedo definitely is gonna need. See that good skip pass right there and that fake off heading to Robbie Naive for that finish straight.
That's only Rizal's 4th 3 of the game, while Escobedo knocks down Davao's 8th triple. Davao was really sizzling hot from the outside in the first half, but they've only managed to get 2 here in the second half.
Yeah, and I like that you pointed out na kailangan ni Escobedo yun because 5 games previous, he was actually averaging roughly about 16 points a game, and in their last 2, he's only at, 6 points per game. Pretty much ang laki ng difference. So to come back and be scoring and have that faith in yourself and that groove is very important for Raymar Escobedo.
We'd like to thank LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. Bonleon trying to put the moves on Balagtas. Dives for it, loses it eventually. Labayan, it's the step on Arboleda, and that's going to be 2 more free throws for the Golden Coolers.
A couple 3 fouls that were, in my opinion, didn't need to happen para dito sa Davao. You have the lead. You got beat already, and there's no point in still fouling. You gotta trust that a teammate of yours will come out, peel off, help you out, and then you go recover the next man that's open. At saka veterano si Harold no? Alam mo, he knows better than that.
This third quarter, coach, not really the same compared to how they fared against Marikina sa kanilang huling laro. Davao outscored the Shoemasters 27-19 in that third period, only for their lead to be caught up with in the fourth quarter, where it was Marikina naman ang naka-outscore sa kanila. And we're looking at Philip Manalang, the newest Rizal Golden Cooler, finally checking in for Coach Ralph Rivera, his first game for this new franchise.
Now this is going to be interesting. You're down a couple of possessions and you insert Philip Manalang in alongside Robbie Naive. This is going to be a very defensive and a quick team para dito sa Rizal.
Escobedo misses from the outside, 54-50. De Leon, left flank 3, air ball.
That's wide.
That's going to be a foul against John Apacible at ang Rizal, only with 14 fouls here with 23 seconds left. So no more fouls to give for both teams. The Chavez will come in para kay Arboleda to provide more shooting from the outside for the Tigers in what possibly will be the final possession of this quarter. Shot clock is off, 23 seconds remaining in this period.
Gonna need a good stop here if you're Rizal.
Manalang is on Escobedo. The Chavez sets the screen. Manalang is still on him. Raymart, 9 seconds to work with. Escobedo sees Agovida. Looks like he shuffled his feet.
Yeah, he did travel. He got deep inside the paint. He got that paint touch, but he wasn't so sure on what he wanted to do. It's either, you quickly give it up, spray it out to your shooters in the perimeter, or, just make a finish.
6 seconds left. De Leon against Escocia. De Leon, drop off, Apacible. Yes, sir! 2 points para kay John Apacible.
Well, assist number 18 trims down this lead to 2 for Rizal.
This is our play of the game, brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Rizal slowly but surely chipping away at at what was once a 13-point lead for the Davao Occidental Tigers. Keith Agovida has been solid in this game. Para sa Davao, Terso has been steady as usual. And these are part of our highlights of the game, brought to you by Sip Plus, the official hydration partner of the MPBL. Elevate your hydration.
But then again, the interior passing between those two bigs, creating confusion, who covers who, and so forth. That's pretty much been how the Rizal team has been able to trim down this deficit.
Only a 2-point advantage for the Tigers heading into the final frame. Check out our Gixxer fans of the game, born for greatness. Among our spectators here at the Pasay Astrodome in Pasay City on a rainy Monday afternoon. We'd like to thank you for joining us sa aming coverage. We are live on YouTube, and later on we will be live on Solar Sports at 6 o'clock p.m. This is Javi Palania, joined by Coach Mike Perez and Ms. Sydney Crespo at courtside. The score is 54-52. Rizal with a strong third quarter. Their coach outscoring Davao, but only by 2 points.
Yes. I guess it's important that they, executed more efficiently in the latter part of the third. Closing out quarter strong is very important. And so you come in now in the fourth quarter, getting a stop, and now get a chance to tie the game or even take the lead.
De Leon cuts through the middle, puts it up, no good. Agovida pulls down rebound number 7. De Chavez lights it up, nope. That ball bounces out in favor of Rizal.
And again, previous to that play, Rizal again goes to that tight curve, which ended up kind of like a flex action. Philip Manalang was to rise if that ball didn't go through Samboy De Leon. Pretty much same play here.
Manalang,
Spain
getting the chance to start this fourth quarter for his new team. Gets it out to Naive. Robbie Naive once again from the outside.
Didn't I tell you about this combo? Philip Manalang, Robbie Naive. Those two are good complementary guards side by side. Can play defense, play without a pace, you shoot the ball from the outside.
This is now the first lead for Rizal in this game, Coach Mike. They've never led the entire match.
That is right. And how poetic is that you get that from Philip Manalang and Robbie Naive, which we've been curiously, trying to figure out kailan sila magsasabay. Ito, ang ganda ng pasa para kay Robbie Naive. And the trust that ball's gonna get to him on that corner 3.
Comia on the left side. Almost going the length of the baseline. Gives it up to Terso. Manalang, who averaged 4.9 points per game, 3.6 rebounds, and 5 assists for the Ilagan Isabela Cowboys. Now bringing his talents to the Rizal Golden Coolers. And this team has been on a roll to start the fourth quarter. Tabla muli tayo, 57 apiece.
Wow, Terso, man. Ibang klase bitaw ni Terso ngayon.
Agovida, the spin to the left. That's off Marco Balagtas's leg ayon sa ating referee. So, it looks like it will stay with the Tigers.
Yeah, looks like it. It should stay with the Tigers. Agovida earlier scored 10 points.
But Coach Ralph Rivera will be challenging that last call. He feels like it was off Keith Agovida.
Yeah.
We'll know the decision on the challenge when we return. Coach Ralph Rivera and the Rizal Golden Coolers
challenge
have
was
been making a
successful.
staggering run here, bridging the third and fourth quarters. Successful ang challenge ng Rizal. This was the call in question. There's the spin by Agovida. Definitely did not touch Balagtas there. It was off the hands of Keith Agovida.
That's right.
Chance to break the tie here for the 10-6 Golden Coolers.
This is the biggest run of Rizal so far. 9 points. Post-split action. Corner exit.
Manalang gives it up. Naive still puts it up. That won't work.
I thought they could have given it up first. That defense was too tight on that corner.
Agovida hands it off to Comia. 10 on the shot clock. Chavez offers the roadblock. Balagtas switches on Jeff. Comia, the in and out, the hop, the
travel.
gather. That's a walk.
Yeah, that's a travel. And that happened because Robbie Naive chose to give up, was that Escobedo on the corner? Gave up on Escobedo and, focused more on Jeff Comia, whom he feels would be more of a threat downhill than a three by Escobedo.
And that's usually a gamble, especially if the man you're guarding in the corner is a shooter like Escobedo.
That's right.
Manalang puts the ball on the deck. There's a travel. Laban kay Philip Manalang.
Equally, almost the same thing. It's the same foot. Pero nakikita mo iba yung dynamic nung pumasok ito si Philip Manalang. The very, few moments that he's been in here, you see the mobility, change a little bit para dito sa Rizal.
I think we just saw Chester Saldua in the house here at the Pasay Astrodome.
Oh, yes?
Agovida gets it from Terzo. Stolen there by Rizal. Golden Coolers haven't been really at par with their running game, although they do have 13 already. That's going to add more to their total. Naive draining it from the outside. That's 14 points in the game for the former St. Benil Blazer, helping Rizal to a 3-point lead.
And he's been holding that corner too, and the guys have been finding him. He's 4 out of 6 right now from that spot, and he's pretty much doing a real good job sinking those threes.
He has 4 out of the 6 3-pointers of Rizal in this game. The Gold Coolers up by 3. Check out our LGR fan outfit of the game. Live na live po ang Liga ng Bawat Pilipino dito sa Pasay Astrodome for your Monday triple header. Results next 3 games, quite a tough one. Zamboanga on July 7. 5 days after that, they face Tropang Pasig and the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards on July 22. An uphill climb for a team that's trying to move out of the 5th and 6th spots. They're tied with Muntinlupa currently.
And beyond that game, Nueva Ecija, you know who they get? Quezon. That's a tough stretch. Oh, what a move by Keith.
Keith Agovida, inayod ang 2 puntos doon. 60-59, that's off the timeout. Good play for Davao and Agovida. Now it's 16 points in this game to lead all scorers. Manalang, the fake, the shot, that's short. Arboleda with the rebound.
That was a good shot though by Philip. He was able to get that defense to commit and fly by. But he just fell a little bit short on that push shot.
Terzo directing traffic from the left side. 2 veteran point guards matched up right now. Manalang is on Joseph. Terzo goes for the 3. That one's long. And that's going to sail out of bounds in favor of Rizal.
2 guards taking shot attempts and both of them maganda yung release, ano? They just couldn't knock it down.
Manalang obviously still trying to find his rhythm here para sa Rizal, although he did practice 4 times already according to Sid earlier in her report. The dynamic of this game has definitely changed with him inside. De Leon missing from the outside, offensive rebound. Cañete, the drop off comes on. Yes, sir. Camson now with 9 points in this game. Rizal continues to hold on to this lead. That's now 3. Escobedo, guarded here by Philip Manalang. Agovida has it. 16 points, 7 rebounds in this game for Agovida. Chance for 2 more. Why not? Keith Agovida.
Robbie Naive did exactly the same thing. As that lane drive was coming, he stunted. But Keith Agovida, really just a good finisher.
They go into the post. Comes on the kick out. Screen set by Naive. De Leon with the 3. That one's short.
Left corner 3 empty that time para dito sa Rizal. They've had a lot of made threes that side of the floor. Now you gotta get a stop here if you want to maintain this lead.
Past the halfway point of our final frame. Terzo. Shot clock winding down once again for Davao. De Chavez will try to bail them out. Short ang kanyang tres. Naive puts the ball on the deck. 3 dribbles. The pass off to De Leon. That's last touch on Joseph Terzo.
The ball is so much quicker now, attacking downhill para dito sa Rizal.
This is our assist of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Ganda ng nilalaro ng dalawang yun together. Camson and Cañete.
De Leon, that pass to Camson was received, but Agovida looks like he got a push from behind.
Going well on number 15, Keith Agovida.
The good thing that there was a push from behind. I thought the angle wasn't so good on that pass, as Camson was really still trying to establish himself on that side of the floor.
Oh, here he is this time attacking from the outside. Left that one short, but Cañete there again to clean up the miss. 13 points, 6 rebounds in the game for the Claw, Mike Cañete.
You know what's surprising about the numbers that's right in front of us? It's actually a plus 11 rebounds advantage para dito sa Davao, but they've never gotten the most out of it. They are 0-7 when it comes to second chance points. They're 0-16 when it comes to fast break. And pretty much you'd like to think those two are, you know, key in producing those points. You control the boards, you get those second chance points, you get those fast breaks.
But Keith Agovida, coach, keeping them in the thick of the fight. He scores a 3-pointer. He has 21 points in this game. Terzo, this is a 3-on-1. They should finish this. He gets it back. The Tigers get 2 points courtesy of Joseph Terzo.
And both these guys taking turns right now. Agovida and Terzo leading the way.
13 points, still no turnovers para kay Joseph Terzo.
Oh yeah.
66-64, Davao back in the driver's seat. Under 3 minutes to play sa laro na to. Manalang, crossover to the right, draws the foul. Will he get continuation? Yes. That will be 2 free throws for Philip Manalang.
Yeah, I thought so too. He gathered after that foul and went up for that shot attempt.
This is our fast break of the game brought to you by Extreme Cool Air Conditioners. Extreme Magpalamig, free installation for split-type air conditioners.
Robbie Naive really caught in their trap against the numbers of Davao. That was 3-on-1. Not much you can do. You got Escobedo driving, you got Terzo waiting on the other side, and then you have a diving Harold Arboleda. Either way, those guys were going to get those scores.
Philip Manalang getting his first point as a member of the Rizal Golden Coolers on that first free throw. He goes 2 out of 2. Tied once again at 66. It's been a very close game here in the fourth quarter. Rizal has been able to get their first taste of the lead, but Davao has been continuing to put up a fight.
That's right. Ooh.
Turnover plus an offensive foul laban sa Tigers.
Number
And you see that quick hand of Philip Manalang getting into that lane attack and able to deflect it and get that steal.
Coach Ralph Rivera will sue for time here. 2 minutes and 26 remaining. Tabla po tayo at 66 all. Check our special deal from 1xBet when you scan the QR code and claim your special offer. We are live from the Pasay Astrodome here in Pasay City as we take a look at the next 3 games of the Davao Occidental Tigers. Bataan on July 4, Quezon on July 10, and the Sarangani Gripper 5 days after that. And for Davao, these are crucial games ahead para sa kanila as they try to move out of the 11th spot in the Southern Division. Commissioner Kenneth Remdes now in the venue together with Operations Head Emerson Oreta and Security Chief Rudy Distrito.
And after that, their next 2 games, Abra and Imus. I just want to say I love your memory. That monitor went off, and you still were able to recall those 3
No,
teams.
Coach, it was not my memory. I was looking at the big screen.
Oh, okay. Look at the big screen. So that's being creative.
Yeah, no. That's called improvisation. Because with regards to my memory, it's not really too good.
Okay.
2 minutes and 22 remaining in this game. Rizal and Davao have been engaged in a tight match here in this 4th quarter. Alday from the outside, couldn't hit. Davao has 3 team fouls, Rizal with 1. As we now enter the twilight zone, the final 2 minutes of this game now fast approaching. We're tied at 66. Escobedo. Corner. Terzo. Way off the mark. Alday, bounce pass in transition. Cañete had that ball tapped from behind. Terzo making that effort.
Well, Alwin Alday there thinking that open space right in front would have been a good spot for Mike Cañete to catch the ball and finish, but quick hands by Davao Tigers.
Naive. Yeah, that 4 3-pointers for Rizal in this game. That one almost fell down.
We're gonna review this.
Yeah, we're under the last 2 minutes, so it's definitely a reviewable call.
Well, you know what? That baseline out of bounds. You had on one side of the floor 3 3-point shooters, pretty much available.
Camson had that hand on it. Nahawakan ba ni Arboleda?
Well, I think there was a push from behind. I'm not so sure if that left hand gather by Eric Camson was able to touch that ball. If it did, then it should be Davao ball.
Minute and 41 remaining in this game.
And so far, the 3 guys that have made this real close for Rizal are Mike Cañete, Samboy De Leon, and Robin Ive.
Both coaches trying to use this opportunity to round out their boys and try to map out their next place.
Now this is going to be very important for Davao to get this win, because a win here would make them 7 and 8, just a game behind Basilan and Imus.
Well, of course, Rizal, they want to move out of the tie with the Muntinlupa Cagers, who are also at 10 and 6. So it was ruled Davao basketball. A chance for the Tigers to take back the lead. Escobedo, Arboleda, Terzo, De Chavez, and Keith Agovida. Chris De Chavez has cooled down here in the second half, Coach.
Oh, yes. Even Keith Agovida, in my opinion, he was, what, 10 points in the first half. And so far, well, he's so much better now in the latter part of the third quarter. And early in the fourth, he's got 21.
Oh, he's really been leading the Tigers here in the second half. A chance for 3 more. Agovida missing from the outside. Cañete holds down the rebound. Alday had gotten into trouble there with Escobedo, but Raymart will be called for the hack. That's the foul to give there for the Tigers, so no free throws yet.
So dito mo na mararamdaman yung mga fouls na give up nila kanina, no? Na hindi naman na kailangan. So that's very important for Rizal to try and exploit. Now they bring in Wawi Escocio in for Chris De Chavez, probably more for defensive purposes because that high-low and dive action has really hurt them, especially still with Mike and Eric Camson as the key bigs para dito sa Rizal.
Yeah, De Chavez is set at the scorer's table. Once again, he will come in at the next dead ball. Agovida, that's a breakaway for the Tigers. 68-66, 23 points, 7 rebounds for Keith Agovida.
You give those 2 points to Keith Agovida, but that wouldn't have happened if not for the defense of Joseph Terzo. He's just been doing the right things, especially here in clutch.
However, let's take a look at this steal first. The steal in the pass, coach, galing kay Joseph Terzo, leading to that Agovida finish.
There's a challenge by Davao Occidental on the foul of Joseph Terzo.
There seems to be a challenge by Coach Arvin Bonleon, saving his challenge for this late in the game. It might be very crucial, especially as they try to hold on to this 2-point lead with a minute and change remaining here in this game. We'll take a short break. Magbabalik kami with the decision on this coach's challenge.
The challenge of Davao Occidental was successful. There was no foul. Retained possession by Rizal.
Successful challenge for the Davao Occidental Tigers. Tignan natin yung nangyari.
Post up right there. Didn't go to it. Oh yeah.
At tinawagan ng foul initially si Joseph Terzo. But after the review, they say there's no foul, and that saves Terzo one less personal.
Yes.
That could have been his second. Kaya alam Rizal will still keep possession. Escobedo with a steal. He's ahead of the pack. Escobedo passes it off. Terzo will finish. Oh boy. What a pulsating sequence right there for the Davao Occidental Tigers.
You know what's admirable about that, Javi, is those possessions actually came off steals. One by Terzo, this one by Escobedo, really playing the passing lanes. He understood that ball was going to go back up high to Eric Camson. And how about the unselfishness and the feed over to Terzo with that left-hand finish for 2 more points for the Tigers.
He's 1 out of 6 from the field. He did not score a lot in this game, but he's had 7 assists. And that last one, courtesy, going to Joseph Terzo. Davao in the lead by 4. Carl Brian Cruz, the newest member of the Zamboanga Sikat,
Oh yeah.
here in the venue already at the Pasay Astrodome. His new squad will be taking on the Pasay Voyagers sa ating main game. That's at 8 o'clock p.m. But right after this, we have the league-leading Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards, who are still without a loss. They will be facing the struggling Muntinlupa Cagers.
You know what that does to Zamboanga? That's an additional 3-point shooter for the Sikat team.
And more leadership as well as veteran presence. Manalang and the Golden Coolers trying to recover from this 4-point deficit. Camson drives on Agovida. Good defense, but no problem there for the former Adamson Falcon.
Yeah, good read right there by Eric Camson. He understands he so far is 0 out of 5, stretching from that 0 out of 3 3-point showing in their last game, and you're not gonna risk it. And you gotta attack the defense of Keith Agovida right there. A little half shake and bake, little turn before he made that finish, rising up against the defense of Keith Agovida.
He may be 0 out of 5 bridging the last game and this afternoon, but he has been very efficient from the field. Let's listen in to Coach Ralph Rivera.
Okay tayo, sige. Nandiyan tayo ha, yung last group ha. Hey, the Chavez pa rin. Switch na tayo. O, switch na lang. Coach, yung ginagawa kanina kay Chavez, yung ginagawa ko na rin. Guys, bilisan nyo na lang din ang ano. Bilisan nyo na lang. Squeeze tayo kay...
Yeah, sabihan mo na lang ako.
Mataas. Okay. Switch. Hindi, yun natin kung involved sila. Escobedo. Switch siya. Kayo switch. Ha? Ikaw switch. Ha? One stop. Magpupul sila.
All right, you just heard Coach Ralph Rivera in the huddle of the Rizal Golden Coolers. And it looks like they're going to switch everything here, Coach. I think that was the ploy. Dahil Davao are going with a lot of shooting with this unit on the floor.
Ooh.
Escobedo almost turns it over. He's joined by De Chavez, Terzo, Agovida, and Arboleda.
Look at the defense of Philip Manalang right there, really making it difficult for Escobedo to make any decisions.
Escobedo still bothered, puts it up. That was forced. Definitely no need to rush there for the Davao Occidental Tigers. Now Rizal has a chance to tie or take the lead with a 3. De Leon has it, gives it up. Camson will go for the triple off to the left, and there's a push. It looks like that's gonna go against Rizal.
That was a good look for Eric Camson. I felt that was early in the shot clock.
Well, De Chavez was right there to challenge. The push coming from Cañete, almost a steal by Rizal. And Manalang will give up the foul. That's only the 13th foul for the Golden Coolers.
And one of the reasons I feel that Eric Camson decided to rise and take that 3, because he understands there's not going to be so much shot blocking on that side of the floor, you going up against Chris De Chavez. And that pretty much is going to be a hand up just to try and challenge that shot.
13 seconds left. 70-68, Davao in the lead. Pero Mingan comes back in. Il Tolentino will provide some more defensive help here para sa Rizal. Coach Arvin Bonleon will be calling, I believe, his final timeout of this game. Tigers trying to hold on to this 2-point lead and the victory. Rizal still with a window of opportunity here.
And both these teams pretty much 5 times been in close matches, each one. But really mas close yung mga games nitong Rizal. They have games of won and lost by 1 point. Let's listen in.
Lakihan natin. Ha? Kung pwede daan lang, walang screen mangyari, daan lang to. Okay? Wait, daan lang. Daan lang, okay, up.
Pati ako inbounder?
Oh, inbounder. Joseph, ikaw to. Lalabas to, Joseph. Okay? Tricky. Tingin ka ha. Lalabas to, tricky dito ka. Papaul lang yan. Papaul lang dito. Papaul lang sila. Ano to, si Joseph na. Sino to?
Ako na lang to, punta ako dito. Si Joseph.
Ikaw na inbound, Joseph. Ikaw to. Si Chavez. Si Chavez to dito.
No, dito. Here. Diamond lang yan.
Diamond, no.
Push down.
Eddie.
Coach Arvin Bonleon, they're trying to map out what could be one of the final plays of this game for Davao.
Yeah, so they're putting in more ball handlers, and this is going to be a gut diamond formation right there in the middle lane, middle thirds of the floor. And after they get the ball inbounds, they're gonna space out and will not go for any screens. They want a solo action with the guy on the ball, and they're gonna quickly. Oh!
Oh, stolen there by Rizal. 9 seconds left. De Leon will go inside and gets the 2 points. We're tied at 70. 5 seconds left. No timeout for Davao. And De Leon also getting in the middle of that pass to Joseph Terzo.
And Tigers don't have a timeout anymore. See that? Very tricky on that inbound. Keith Agavida loses it. Mike recovers. Quickly the push to the front court. Simon says, I'm going to finish. Samboy says, I'm going to finish this right through the rock.
3 seconds left. It's Davao basketball. We've seen stranger things happen here in the MPBL. Escobedo looking forward. Agovida gets past Alday. Agovida leads in and gets the basket! Keith Agovida for the win!
I think they're still gonna review this, but that looked good. That looked good. But the thing is,
oh my goodness. Escobedo, Terzo was asking for it. And then Agovida happened to get to the pass. Check that out. Ooh, I don't think it's gonna count, coach.
oh,
I don't think it's gonna count.
I don't think so. When he hung, oh yeah, that was still in his hand.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Oh
definitely.
yeah, pretty much. But a good run though by Keith Agovida. I mean, he had to get past that defense. That's the thing. Which is pretty much how they did also in the previous win against Marikina.
Marikina definitely pushed Davao to the limit, and Rizal right now trying to do the same. 40 minutes wasn't enough. We are going into overtime, ladies and gentlemen, so hang on to your seats. We still have 5 more minutes to go in this matchup between the Davao Occidental Tigers and the Rizal Centro Mall Golden Coolers. Davao is still arguing that it should be counted, pero mukhang kitang-kita naman dito, coach.
Nasa kamay pa eh. Naked eye, parang feeling mo hindi inabot ng oras eh. Pero eto, ayan.
Yeah, it was still in his hands.
Still in his hands, definitely.
Definitely still in his hands.
Yeah.
There's no
right.
judging that replay. That was definitely a no count.
That's right.
Replay doesn't lie. Okita Govida could have gotten them the victory, but it really is gonna be extra period here at the Pasay Astrodome. First game pa lamang ito, mga kaliga. And this is definitely gonna be a treat considering how tight this game has been. It's been a crazy exchange between these two squads, lalo na dun sa ating fourth quarter.
Oo. But ano nga eh, tigliman na nila itong close games, ano? Bawat isa sa kanilang team, both these teams, and really just a close one here, and we're going extra period.
Yeah, we'll be taking a short break, ladies and gentlemen. Babalik kami in overtime. At akala ko ligtas na ako sa overtime, but here we are, ladies and gentlemen. 5 more minutes to decide the winner of this game between Rizal and Davao. First possession goes to the Golden Coolers, but they turn it over and Agovida gives it up. Escobedo with a score.
Well, quickly they take it back. Rizal running the other side. They got numbers.
Alday left wide open and he sets and hits the 3.
Di talaga titigil na pagtira yan si Alwin Alday. You understand, you leave him free, he knows he's gonna make it.
3 out of 14 from the field. Ito si Alwin Alday. Komya A little bit strong on the fall-away jumper. Camson says, let's set this one up. He's joined by Caballero. De Leon for 3.
Oh no.
Alday is also on the floor together with Robbie Naive.
That wasn't a good possession for Rizal. He could have gotten other guys involved, settled down, and could have padded more on that lead.
Agovida currently with 23 points and 7 rebounds, and could have gotten the game winner before the end of regulation, but he is trying his best to make sure that they preserve the victory here in extra time.
And you see how surgical Keith Agovida has been. All the hustle right now down on the floor.
Love to see the players really turning on the intensity, especially here when every possession matters. 3 minutes and 34 left in OT.
Look at that. Corner ball screen, and Keith Agovida goes to that footwork. And you drop that step with that left leg on that left side of the floor for a lefty like Keith. Gonna be easy pickings.
Just like a surgeon cutting through wounds in the emergency room.
Right.
And Davao right now definitely pressing that button. They want this win. They need this win. Currently 6 and 8 right now behind the Imus Brotherhood for, if the playoffs started now, the last spot in the play-in tournament.
Yes. When you look at it, the 5 of the Tigers on the floor right now, these are 4 scorers and 1 role player in Harold Arboleda who could come up with all the hustle stuff that they need. I mean, pretty much every guy on this team can actually score if you talk about the Tigers.
Let's see how they fare here. They're up by 1, 74-73. Comia calling twist.
Yeah, Horns twist. And we'll see a little pin down or flare action.
Agovida driving against Naive. Jumper on the way. No good. Looked like there was a pass to Escobedo. Whatever it was still a score for Davao. Escobedo with a deuce. 7 points in the game.
Athletic guard, strong enough to finish. Get offensive boards and stickbacks.
Alday leads in. Floater no good.
Last couple of possessions have not been so good for Rizal. Medyo minamadali, no?
And Manalang will come back in para kay Cano Caballero. Manalang has played the bulk of the second half para dito sa Rizal.
That's right. And he was part of that rotation that actually closed that gap with Davao Tigers, especially in the mid of the third and the fourth.
If you just tuned in, Davao was up by as much as 13 points sa laro na to. Escobedo feeling it, missing from 3. Camson holding down only his 5th rebound in this game. Naive, bounce pass to Eric. Camson defended by Agovida. Arboleda looking over to help.
Oh, wow.
Kisses it off the glass. Eric Camson.
Oh, wow.
76-75.
A combination of footwork and body strength through contact. How about that, Javi?
Yeah, the focus as well, Coach. He's hit
yeah.
some difficult shots in this game. Talking about Eric Camson.
Oh, man. What a move by Eric Camson.
Final 2 minutes here in OT. Could this possibly be it? Agovida had that ball tapped out of bounds. They will review this one. Dahil we are now under the final 2 minutes. So every out of bounds play is reviewable.
And Alvin Alday was right there around the vicinity where that happened, and he was really talking quickly to Coach Ralph, saying it's supposed to be our ball. You got to challenge that.
Referee Alan Manzano and referee Karina Martin, both on our review table to decide what call should be appropriate. If it stays with Davao, they will have 5 to work with on their shot clock.
Huge improvement on the shooting of Rizal, actually. After shooting roughly about 36-37%, they're now at 41%. But still, those 12 missed free throws, gotta haunt you.
In close games like this, those are definitely The kind of stats that you wished you could have had a good percentage in.
Yes, agree.
Oh, they rule in favor of the Tigers, 5 on the 24. They have to go quick. Escobedo trying to spin away from Manalang. Escobedo gives it up. Did not realize the time. Head coach Arvin Boleon is not happy.
Yeah, because they had time. But guys just really needed to be conscious about the time that was left. Took too long before he actually created.
Terso will come out. A chance to take back the lead for Rizal. 21 turnovers in the game para sa Davao. Rizal only with 11. Alday gives it back to their man of the moment, Eric Camson. Camson, tinira, pasok. Eric Camson, back-to-back baskets.
Well, I wanted to focus on the help defense of Harold Arboleda. Harold knew there was going to be a drop step on the baseline. He went in there. Kaya nagulat rin si Eric Camson na meron depensa. A good thing he made that shot.
Balik sa abante dito ang Rizal, 77-76. Comia looking at the clock at 3-7. Trying to drive on Naive.
Ooh.
That's a travel on Jeff Comia. He slid there.
No, definitely had the right thing in mind to try and go left side of the floor, finish that off with a 2-foot jump stop, but that spin, he lost control. Look at this, he goes to the left side, but then loses it and he spins back middle for that finish.
Yeah, he felt like he was pushed from behind, pero there was no whistle blown.
That was good defense also by Philip Manalang. Really just kept on staying on him.
Exactly a minute to go here in OT. Alday looking inside. They go back again to Camson, a little bit far from his comfort zone, but he turns it over. Arboleda brings it up. I thought he was fouled too. Escobedo wants a clear out.
Yeah, they're going to spread this out. That's right.
Chavez offers the screen. Escobedo attacks, hangs. Escobedo gets the bounce!
What a move by Escobedo.
9 points in the game para kay Raymart Escobedo. Manalang, finger roll, short. The tap goes to Davao. Comia out in the front court. Easy pickings para kay Jeff Comia. Davao in the lead by 3, 80-77.
Wow. And these turnovers, Javi, earlier in regulation, that was a 17-6 advantage in that stat line. But right now, it's 21-18. Just a 3-point difference between these two. And still, good recovery and a good finish right there. Miss it, and we go off to the races.
Arboleda with that huge tap that gets it to the front court of the Tigers. Comia finishing the job there para sa kanila. 80-77, 20 seconds to go in this game. Can Rizal make one final push? We'll be back. Davao Occidental Tigers trying to hold on to this game against the Rizal Golden Coolers. It's been pretty much a nip and tuck affair from the fourth quarter to now in overtime. Kita Gavida had a chance to win it, although his shot at the buzzer did not count. And now the Tigers hoping to get this victory as they try to get win number 7. 4 deadlocks, 6 lead changes in this game. 20 seconds left. Manalang hands it off. Alday, quick trigger, overshoots the mark, and that's going to sail out of bounds. Rizal basketball, according to our referees.
Now this is even more dangerous. You're inbounding from the baseline, And I always say this is it's one of the toughest inbounds to defend against.
Caballero will come in para kay Philip Manalang. De Leon will trigger in from the baseline. Samboy to Alwin. Alday, that's a tough pass. Naive able to catch it. Fall away 3 on its way. Wala. Kamson, offensive rebound. Put back is good. 80-79. 6 seconds left.
Oh, and that leap by Robbie Naive to keep that ball alive. That was a very high pass. That shot had a good line. A good recovery on that stick back of that offensive rebound by Eric Kamson. Another second chance point para sa Rizal.
O, talagang kinakayod ni Eric Kamson itong overtime para dito sa Rizal. Let's listen in to Coach Arvin Bonleo.
Ikaw rin inbound siya pa.
Sure pass.
Kubi. Dito isa. Dito, Pamya. Dito.
Tawid na tayo.
That's me, coach.
Kabila yan, di ba? Dito.
Kabilang side.
Di bawal
dito sa tapat ng bench natin.
Dito, no? Okay, yan lang. Tingnan mo. Pag nag-anticipate, papaul lang yan, di ba? Punta tayo dito. Pero pag dito, go ka doon. Go ka. O, ikaw to. Tapos ito. Go. Pag wala, pasok. Yan. Mapaul lang yan.
Still foul yan. Still foul.
Still foul lang yan.
First team magsa-double yan.
There you go. You just heard the huddle of the Davao Occidental Tigers and Coach Arvin Bonleon reminding his players na pa-foul naman itong Rizal agad.
Yeah. And definitely, it's like what you heard earlier, that this is a steal foul effort para sa Rizal. They're going to attempt a steal. If not, then they're going to get a foul.
Both teams without any timeouts to call. Terzo inbounds to the Chavez, and the quick foul there given up by Manalang.
And one more, they send somebody to the free throw. Right now, Davao has not missed yet from the line. They're 6 out of 6 from there.
So one more foul, and it's going to be free throws now para sa Davao. 5 seconds left, 80-79. Terzo gives it up. Escobedo trying to break away from the defense. There's the foul by Tolentino. So only a second off that game clock. But again, wala nang timeout ang Rizal dito sa laro na to.
Yeah. They were able to, take time in inbounding that ball, but quickly Rizal getting to that foul. So a second chipped away from 5 seconds. Now it goes to the line. 4 seconds, that's still a lot of time.
Escobedo will be tested at the free throw line. His first trip to the charity stripe in this game. This free throw brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Oh, Escobedo missing on the first.
Oh, wow.
He's had some crucial mistakes here in OT, Coach.
That's right. You got to make this.
That's Davao's first miss from the line this entire game. Escobedo, second one, almost missed but got the friendly bounce again. 81-79, 4 seconds left. Manalang has it. Philip Manalang. Oh, he's blocked there by Jeff Comia. And that's all ball according to our referees. Davao escapes with a victory here against Rizal. A crucial win para sa kanila.
Second game in a row that the Davao Tigers actually win by the skin of their teeth. It's just a 1-point win again para dito sa Davao Tigers. They could have gotten this in regulation had it not been for that late shot by Keith Agovida. See this play right here. That was all ball, definitely.
Access denied there by Jeff Comia. What a good defensive stop to finish the game for the Tigers, winning their second straight match, second straight close game para sa kanila, and they move up to 7 and 8 as they try to catch up to the number 10 Imus Brotherhood. And what a victory it was para sa kanila. Different players shining in different moments. But our best player of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Few more game with 1xBet. What a bounce-back performance here by Keith Agovida after paltry shooting in their last game.
Yeah, I agree. And pretty much a good comeback. He's got 25 points and a 10 of 16 shooting. He was 2 out of 5 from 3. perfect from the line. He had 8 rebounds rather, and 1 assist and 1 steal. And you like that effort by Keith Agovida.
81-79, the Tigers with their 7th win of the season. Our best player of the game is with Miss Sydney Crespo.
Thank you so much, Javi, Coach Mike. Keith, first of all, congratulations. Best player at career high performance mo ngayong araw. We saw how you fought for this game, no, fourth quarter. Gusto mo na sanang manalo kanina. But regardless, it is a hard-earned win para sa Davao, lalo na ayaw sumuko nila Eric Camson kanina.
Siguro credit to sa coaches saka sa mga teammate ko, hindi bumigay hanggang dulo. Naano namin yung mga game plan ng coaches, kaya kami nanalo.
Speaking of coaches, sabi nga ni Coach Arvin, no, marami kayong tinatrabaho ngayon after some changes in the team. Ngayon, hinahabol niyo yung South Standings. Gaano ka-importante itong confidence, motivation, at ang momentum na meron ang lahat at this point?
Sabi lang sa amin ni Coach Arvin, every practice, lahat ng game namin, panalo dapat kasi naghahabol kami ng, ng spotting sa South. Yun lang naman yung sa amin.
At kitang-kita namin ang effort mo. Sinong gusto mong batiin at pasalamatan?
Unang-una, nagpapasalamat ako kay Lord. Binigay yung panalo sa amin. Sa wife ko, si Doris, sa 3 anak ko, si Kyrie, si Clay, saka si Kyle. Sa Bautista family, kay Kong Claudine Bautista, Congresswoman Claudine Bautista, saka Madam Mimi, Madam Gina, sa lahat ng Bautista family, salamat po sa support. Yun lang.
Thank you so much and congratulations once again. Keith Agovida is our best player of the game, brought to us by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Sid. Once again, we congratulate the Davao Occidental Tigers for getting their 7th victory. Up next, we have the Nueva Ecija Rise Vanguards going up against the Muntinlupa Cagers. So kayong aalis mga kaliga, keep it locked in here on the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.